Hi guys and welcome back. Today we will start our journey on exploring the different applications, or better, the decentralized applications, because all of them are based on a blockchain that are part of the DeFi ecosystem. So how the financial world is coming into the DeFi world. And today I want to start talking with you about what is a decentralized exchange. That is the first kind and is literally the base of any kind of ecosystem. We have already started to talk about it when we were talking about the impairment loss. If you have still doubts about that topic, please go back and check that video, or if you want to ask something, just use the comment section here or the Telegram chat. I prepared for you also a couple of slides that I want to share with you right now. And first of all, as we were saying, there are two different kinds of decentralized exchanges. First of all, it is the AMM. When we talk about the AMM, we are talking about an automated market maker that can encounter the kind of loss that is the impairment loss that we're talking into the previous video. An AMM has been the base, so the first kind of protocol that came out into the DeFi ecosystem, and basically is what is allowing you to go from one coin, as you can see from this image. So you can go from Bitcoin to Ethereum just trading your coins. Just to give you a brief example, PancakeSwap is one of the most famous decentralized exchange that is based on Binance Smart Chain. It is just the equivalent of what Uniswap have done into Ethereum blockchain. We can explore the platform. Just click here on trade. We can go on swap. Swap, it is the feature that will allow you to go from one token. You can simply go here and select the kind of token that you want and that you wanna sell, and here the one that you wanna buy. You can choose the amount and you can simply have to confirm. Again, as I was telling you when we were talking about the risk and the cost of DeFi, remember that if it is the first time that you are using that coin on that protocol, you have first to approve, so to give permission to the application to spend your money, and after that you have to complete the transaction. So it is a two steps process, or at least that's what PancakeSwap is requiring. On top of that, you can add the liquidity, because as we were telling the other day, in order to allow this to work, so we have this box where you are putting into $100 and you are withdrawing another $100, is that it is possible just because there are people that are adding liquidity to these boxes. And that's something that you can do just going here, trade, liquidity, add liquidity. You can choose the kind of asset you want to add liquidity and simply do add liquidity. In order to incentivize people to start using this feature, so to add liquidity, because remember guys, the more liquidity there is into the pool, the more efficient is the way it is working. Let's suppose that you want to exchange $1,000 into the example instead of just 100. Well, as you can see in the example, it is not possible for the simple reason that there is only $900 of liquidity. You can't ask to the system, to this box, to give you more than $900 of Ethereum, for the simple reason that there are not enough money. And that's something that you have to take in account. So for any decentralized exchange that is using an AMM, having a lot of liquidity into the protocol is so important. That's the reason why when you go to this kind of systems, they are trying to incentivize people to add liquidity. And that's the reason why in the moment when you have added the liquidity, you will receive a token. This token, you can think about it like as a receipt, something that is saying you own a certain kind of percentage of that pool. And you can use this token you have just received, this receipt, into the earn feature. If, for example, if you go to earn farms, you will have the opportunity to use your token that is called into slang LP token, liquidity provider token. You can use it and you can stake it. You can deposit it into the platform to start earning liquidity. Or you can use an auto compounder like RizzlyFi. That's something that we will talk about into the next couple of videos, because there are different strategies and different pros and cons when you are start earning. I don't want to anticipate anything about liquidity mining and yield farming, so it's something that we will have a chapter, or better, a video dedicated to the matter. What I want to enlighten right now is that in order to have more liquidity, that is so crucial for this kind of decentralized exchanges, the applications are incentivizing the people to add liquidity through different programs that we will discuss into the next video. Going on, because as we were saying, aside from the AMM, the automated market maker, there is also the order book kind. And when we talk the order book, we are talking about something that is like what you are finding on Binance or any other centralized exchange. So you have the order book, that is the one that is enlightened on the right, where you will see the different kind of orders that are on the platform. When we talk about order books and decentralized exchanges, most of them are about futures. One of the examples is, for example, DYDX. In order to enable these protocols to work in an efficient way, because do you remember when we were talking that in the cost and hidden fees and so on, that in some case transactions are not free and can cost a lot. And obviously, if they are costing a lot, doing a lot of transactions, like it will be required to have an order book, because an order book is like having a transaction that is always open. It is something that is quite expensive if you're using a blockchain like Ethereum. That's the reason why there are solutions that are more scalable, that you can think about. It's like the difference, instead of having to pay every time, let's say you are going to a bar, you are a lot of people and you are ordering continuously a beer, another glass, some food and so on. Instead of have for each glass, for each dish that is coming to your table, so you will have to do a lot of transactions, what the system is doing is creating an open account. So you will have simply your balance, and at the end, when you have finished, you will pay. This is the kind of difference from Ethereum and Layer 2. Layer 2 are something that is much more scalable, much more faster, and it is enabling order books to work. Still, unfortunately, due to the kind of constraints typical of the blockchain, order books are not yet the standard. At the moment when we come to decentralized exchanges, at least for spot market, because again, in the case, for example, of DYDX, we were using not a spot market, but just a future. So you are not owning for real the token that you are trading, but you are just using something that is representing the value that is following the price of that asset. Right now, as I was telling you, most of the decentralized exchanges are using an AMM model for the simple reason that right now it is still more efficient in terms of scalability and also in terms of cost. Guys, I hope that this overview helped you to better understand what is a decentralized exchange. If you have still any other questions, just write us into the comment section here or on the Telegram group, and we will be more than welcome to answer you. Guys, see you next video. Bye. Hi guys, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about trading on DeFi and what is the difference between doing that on DeFi compared to CeFi. So I'm talking about applications like Binance or any other application that you are already maybe using to trade stocks and commodities. Because as you will see, the answer is not for granted, and there are a couple of things that you should know. I will use, or better, I want to share with you a couple of information and a couple also of screens. I want to start saying that even if I'm so passionate about DeFi, I want to add that the reality is that in this moment, there are pros and cons of doing real trading using the DeFi ecosystem. Because, for example, when we talk about trading, actually, applications like Binance or like the ones that has just died, like FTX, but we can talk about Bybit, Crypto.com, or all the other applications that are offering you the ability to trade. And when we talk about trading, let's remind that we have two ways of trading: using a spot market or a derivative market. Spot market means that you are buying the real asset. The derivative market is instead, you are not buying the real asset, but you are buying something, it is simply following the price of the real asset. The main difference is that while on spot you can't use leverage, when we talk about derivatives, yes, you can use leverage. And that's the concept is so important, because obviously traders, specifically if traders are working on a short time frame, so let's say they want to do trading intraday or just swing trading, so trying to catch a slightly big movement, in that case using derivatives is much better for the simple reason that you can amplify that movement. Let's say that the movement is just 3%. If you are using a leverage by 10x, even if the movement was 3%, you can get a profit of up to 30%. So the difference is big. And many services are offering you a leverage up to 50 or even 100x in some cases. So the main difference is that when we are using spot, to be fair, so the spot market, there is not so much different among using a DeFi protocol or a CeFi protocols. Right now, protocols like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, and so on are giving you probably the best experience when it comes to security and being in control of the process and getting decent price. Or at least this is something that is happening for all the most important coins, because what is the other big point is that CeFi, so centralized platforms, are having much more liquidity. At least that's having liquidity, that's something that's so important, because if, for example, you wanna buy $1 million, as we were seeing in the moment when we were talking about AMM, if into the box there are not enough money, well, you can't conclude the operation. Usually on CeFi, so on centralized exchanges like Binance and so on, there is much more liquidity, so you can buy even high amount of cryptos. When we talk about spot markets, the reality is that at least for the big coins, actually even DeFi protocols are offering you a good level of liquidity, a good level of security, and so on. Because security, that's probably the most important topic. As we were telling you into the previous videos, if you are missing something, again, just ask or go back and check again the video, because the more you are repeating, repetition is something that is helping your brain to understand and to make yours this kind of topics. So from the security point of view, using a DeFi protocol means that you are for real in charge and in control of your cryptos. Remember, when we talk about platforms like Binance, yes, that's true that maybe you can have some slight advantage. The point is that if Binance for any reason is deciding tomorrow that you can't access anymore the platform, well, your funds are gone. When we talk about PancakeSwap or Uniswap or whatever, the reality is that you are buying and the coins are going into your wallet. Yes, that's true that if you are losing the key and so on, that's something that we have been talking about into the chapter about security. But you are the only one in charge and in control of your cryptos, and that's a big difference. So when we talk about spot market, personally speaking, I'm using DeFi protocols because are much more efficient, or at least I feel like that. On the other side, when we talk about derivatives, yes, there are many different protocols also in the DeFi ecosystem that are growing. Like in this case, I'm showing you GMX, but there are other, one is called GNS, and many other are coming right now. Also, DYDX that we were just talking the other day is another protocol that is just using DeFi to offer derivatives. So mainly, the main point is offering you the ability to use leverage. The reality is that at the moment, when we talk about trading with leverage, CeFi is slightly better. So it's offering a much more advanced kind of service to you. On the other side, we have to remember, first, not your keys, not your cryptos, because that's something that you are exposed in the moment when you are using a centralized exchange like Binance or anyone else. So it means that they can lock you out from your funds any moment. On the other side, they are offering you something more advanced. Even if, remember, even CZ, that is the owner, the founder of Binance, say that the future is everything about DeFi, because the technology that is behind this kind of protocols is evolving. And do you remember when I was saying that one of the reasons why these protocols are still struggling when it comes to trading with leverage is simply because the blockchain is not yet able to scale to manage so many transactions. But that's something that is being solved right now. So in the next months, years, expect that this is something that will be overcome, and also DeFi protocols will be able to offer this kind of experience. So just to summarize, when it comes to spot markets, so trading spot, something buying and owning the coin, no way, DeFi is much better. You can use according to which blockchain you are interested in, PancakeSwap, Uniswap, or any other protocol. When we are talking about trading with leverage, CeFi is still offering you something more advanced, even if you have a risk of losing your coins. DeFi, it is something that is growing a lot right now because there is a lot of also of interest around this topic, and the technology is evolving. So expect that this trend will change during the next couple of months and year. Guys, let me know if you have any question into the comment section here or into the Telegram group. See you in the next video. Hi guys, and welcome back. We are again here with Elias from Grizzlyfi, and today we're going to talk about liquidity mining. What does it mean, this word, and most of all, which is the reason why we should start using liquidity mining? Elias is quite an expert into the topic. Grizzlyfi is just about it. And in my opinion, if you ask me, when we talk about liquidity mining and yield farming, we are simply saying that we are talking about creating passive income through DeFi. But it's just my opinion. I want to hear your idea, Elias. Welcome back. And yeah, what do you think about yield farming, liquidity mining? What's the difference, and what is the real nature of this kind of activity you can do on DeFi?
Thank you very much, first of all. And that's a great question, a question I get asked every day at least once. So to define quickly, yield farming is just the whole topic of generating passive income in DeFi. That's exactly right, and that's the main definition of it. When we talk about liquidity mining is just one part of yield farming. So with under the big name of yield farming, we can put lending and borrowing, we can put staking, and so on. And liquidity mining is one of them, and I think one of the most interesting, because liquidity mining is actually the wrong term to call it, because actually it should be called liquidity providing, because what you actually do is providing liquidity. I mean, what is liquidity? Liquidity is monetary value. In this case, it's tokens, it's coins, it's Bitcoin, it's Ethereum, it's USDC, it's USDT, whatever, to a protocol. What is a protocol? A protocol is a smart contract on the blockchain. So it basically means something like a decentralized exchange or an aggregator. And I mean, in the case of liquidity mining, it's most likely an aggregator, which is then putting the liquidity to a decentralized exchange. Now, what a decentralized exchange is, we already know. And to explain it real quick, what liquidity mining is and what's the value behind it, liquidity mining is the process of providing monetary value in form of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on to a decentralized exchange, which then can use that liquidity to fulfill open trades. I mean, now when you think about it, when you go to Binance, when you go to Coinbase, your preferred exchange, and you want to exchange Bitcoin to Ethereum, you can just do that. Why can you just do that? Because Coinbase or Binance is holding a lot of Bitcoin, they're holding a lot of Ethereum, they're holding a lot of USDC. And when you want to trade that, they will just take their own reserves and fulfill your trade, right? So you can instantly spot trade, basically. And when we talk about DeFi, the case is a bit more difficult, because who is providing funds there? There is no Binance, there is no Coinbase. And when you follow the news a bit, Binance made more revenue than the New York Stock Exchange 2021. So they made a lot of money. And the yield farmers, the liquidity miners, did so too. So liquidity mining is nothing else than giving the opportunity to give your funds to an exchange, like Binance does it technically private, just open. So everyone can do that right now. And your benefit by doing that is basically you can earn a little transaction fee, a little spread fee, which the decentralized exchange is charging. So by providing your liquidity, your Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, whatever, to the platform, and giving the platform to the opportunity to fulfill trades with that, you earn a tiny amount of transaction fees with every transaction, and this accumulates, and you can earn 5, 10, 20% per year with that. And I mean, Grizzly is, for example, an aggregator. And what aggregators do is basically aggregate liquidity. So what we are doing is we're sitting on top of different decentralized exchanges. And we just make the process of depositing your liquidity into decentralized exchanges very, very easy. So you just have to click one button and we do the whole transaction stuff in the background. No more complicated onboarding on decentralized exchanges for you. You just have to click one button and everything is done, and you can accumulate your yields from that day on.
So basically what you're saying is that the whole concept about liquidity mining is starting earn a passive income. So you are start earning something that is like what at the moment, this amount of money is the same amount of money it is going just to Binance, KuCoin, and all the other big exchanges. So decentralizing this process is simply using your liquidity to start participating to the process of buying and selling cryptos. And what an aggregator like, for example, of GrizzlyFi is doing is simply, instead of having you to go on different kind of exchanges, because the reality is that we have thousands of different kind of decentralized exchanges. And what makes the difference is how much liquidity each exchange has, and having a way just with a simple click to deposit your liquidity, that's something that is pretty useful. And when it comes to the passive income, so you are earning fees, but on the other side, for what is my knowledge, is also you are also earning some kind of additional reward. And which is the reason why they are giving this reward, in your opinion?
So when we talk about exchanges, and that's a very interesting topic to talk about. When we talk about exchanges, the real value of a decentralized exchange, it's liquidity. So the more liquid the decentralized exchange is, the better for you as a trader, because the less price impact you have when you trade. For example, imagine if you go to Coinbase and Coinbase only has like $100 of liquidity behind, and you can't even fulfill your Bitcoin.
That's a problem. That would be a big problem.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. But when Binance has $1 billion, there's no problem. So everyone goes to Binance because they don't have problems they're trading, right? And that's what I mean with the worth of an exchange is its liquidity. And to bring as much liquidity miners to your platform, you want to incentivize them the best. And how can you incentivize them the best? By just providing them more rewards. And how can you make money out of the thin air or out of just air is like giving out the token. And that's why a lot of exchanges or a lot of also aggregators, which want to get new customers on board, put out or bring out tokens out of nothing and give them to the people which have like a value but kind of no utility behind them.
The main point is that exactly as you were saying, liquidity is so important. So different kind of decentralized exchanges or aggregators on top of the fees are simply adding their own reward that is just giving you their token. But one thing that you should pay really attention as a user is just approaching this matter is that not all the tokens are equal. So it's not just because you are connecting your wallet in that moment, you are seeing that you are supposed to receive, let's say, $100 of rewards, you will get for real this reward. Because the reality is that only the moment when you sell, so you go from the token, XY token that you are seeing in that moment into BUSD or anything that is reliable, you will get real value. So one thing that I highly encourage you is always check it out. What is the use case, for which reason that token should have any kind of value. And that's something that is not always is having anyone. It's not even a bad story, because you can even trade something that has no real value, but as long as someone else is buying, it's just the market is balancing itself through this kind of system. Just be aware that this kind of rewards most of the time are really volatile. So always check which is the kind of currency that is used to give you any kind of reward or even the fees. Okay, guys. Again, if you have any kind of question, feel free to ask into the comment section here or into the Telegram group, and we'll be more than happy to go through on the topic. Thank you, Elias, for this discussion, and see you next time. Bye. Hi, guys, and welcome back. In this video, we will discuss how to use DeFi to become like a bank. So from one side, taking a loan, and on the other side, supply money in order to start earning profits, usually for banks. But in this case, also for you, it can produce money. Okay, let's start immediately. Prepared a couple of slides for you. And the whole concept is based on two main actions. So from one side, you have some crypto and you want to increase your exposure. It is like when in the previous video we were talking about using leverage. Well, through this kind of applications, even if you are holding the real crypto, so let's say that you have Bitcoin, the real Bitcoin, the crypto, you can use it to start increasing your exposure exactly as you were using leverage. Obviously, it's not like a derivative platform like what could be offered by Bybit, Binance, and so on. It will never get to 50x, 100x, how other platforms are able to do. But anyway, that's something that is quite reliable and can give you the ability to create advanced strategies also when it comes to DeFi. On the other side, be like a bank simply means that if usually only banks were able to earn interest just lending this amount of money to someone else, in this case, you can become exactly like a bank and you can start receiving this kind of interest. But let's give a look to an application that is offering this kind of service. The most famous one and the most important one is called Aave. This is the interface and how it works. As you can see here, you will find assets to supply. So you can supply an asset. In the moment when you are supplying this asset, you will start earning this APY here that I'm enlightening here. As you can see, the APY simply means the interest that you will start earning. It is nothing incredibly high, so it's not degen. Why? Because obviously, guys, always remember that usually higher is the kind of interest that you will receive. Usually there is also some kind of hidden risk. I have seen during the last couple of years also protocols that were able to offer APYs like 1000x, 100 of 1000 of percentage of APY. The point is that the risk that were behind it was quite high. So always don't just pursue the higher APY, the higher interest, but just try to understand what is the risk-reward ratio. In this case, the risk-reward ratio is quite low and also the APY is quite low. But the beauty is that instead of just keeping your Ethereum locked into your wallet without any kind of passive income opportunity, in this case, you can supply them into this protocol and start earning this kind of APY. So in this moment, if you're wondering why this Ethereum is producing APY, well, for the simple reason that this protocol, so this application through the smart contract is this intelligent and automated contract is managing a different kind of transactions, is taking this money and lending to someone else. Because as you can see here, assets to borrow. It means that people that are able to borrow some kind of amount of money and at the same time paying a certain amount of interest. As you can see, all the interests that are paid but by people that are borrowing any kind of assets are higher than the percentage that is paid by the protocol to people that are supplying money. If you're wondering how it works, how it's possible that people are borrowing, so which is the guarantee that they will give back the amount of money they are borrowing, it is quite simple. In the moment when you supply an asset, you have also the opportunity to lock this asset and say, okay, use this amount of ETH that I have just supplied into the protocol in order to become to be used as a collateral. So it means that if you have $1,000 of Ethereum, you can use it to borrow something else, like let's say a stablecoin like BUSD, and the ratio, it is usually something that is safe. Let's say that the percentage is 60%. So it means that if you have $1,000, you can borrow at maximum 60% of the value of what you have supplied. So in this case, it is $600. and you can borrow USD. And how it works, in the moment when your collateral, so the value of your Ethereum is moving, let's suppose that it's going down because Ethereum is going down and is losing value, and instead of having anymore $1,000 deposited into the protocol, you will end up having just $800. The point is that there is also a threshold that is saying, okay, man, you have borrowed $600. Well, you need to have at least $800 of collateral, so $800 of Ethereum locked into the platform. And if the value of Ethereum is going below the threshold, what is happening simply is that the protocol will take your Ethereum, will be sold on the market, and will repay the debt. So as you can understand, people can deposit something, cryptos, that will be used as a collateral that will enabling you to to borrow in some other crypto, and automatically, if for any reason what you have left as a guarantee is going below, so it is becoming a loan that is too dangerous because it is reaching the kind of dangerous threshold, in that case the system will simply liquidate your position, will sell your Ethereum, will give it to you back what is left, and will repay the debt. So that's how it works. Another protocol that is doing pretty well is also MakerDAO, that has created this application. It is called Oasis app. That is quite simple. It's working exactly the same way. Simply, instead of having to choose the asset, there is only a single asset you can borrow against your crypto. Anyway, feel free to check them out. If you have any question, feel free to ask into the comment section here or into our Telegram group. See you in the next video. Hi guys, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about how staking is applied to DeFi, what it means, and what are also the opportunities to start earning, because that's another way to earn passive income. Okay, let's start immediately. I have prepared also for you a couple of slides. And first of all, I want to say that when it comes to staking, this is a word that has been quite abused during the last couple of years when it comes to cryptos, generally speaking, and DeFi more specifically. For the simple reason that if the word staking was at the origin was something that was applying for proof of stake blockchain, so it means that your cryptos were used as a guarantee that you were doing your job in the right way when it comes to validate the different kind of transactions. And stake simply means bringing your coin, locking inside the blockchain that will be used as a guarantee. During the time, the word staking has been used in different kind of meanings. And in this video, I want to tell you what is the real meaning of staking and what are the different kind of shades that you will find. So first of all, proof of stake. So it means using your crypto as a guarantee, and in that moment you will start earning rewards. Because I don't know if you remember, but people that are participating in the process of validation will receive also other cryptos, other coins as a reward. The percentage is changing according to each blockchain. In some case could be like in this moment on Ethereum. If you stake your cryptos on Ethereum, you can earn up to 5.7%. Unfortunately, when it comes to earning rewards for participating to the proof of stake validation process, there are two main limits. First of all, in some case, you wouldn't have the need to buy some kind of hardware in order to participate to this kind of process. Or in the second case, even if you can just delegate your cryptos to someone that has the infrastructure, the point is that these cryptos will be locked into a system that maybe can take up to 1 month even, or even more. Right now, people that have been locking into Ethereum through this system, they still don't know when they will be able to withdraw. And there are people that has been locked in this kind of situation since the last year. So what is the solution? That's the reason why there is the second kind of alternative and the second kind of use case for staking. It is called liquid staking. It works perfectly exactly in the same way of proof of stake. So you are using your coin to participate to the same kind of process, but instead of using directly the blockchain, like going directly on Ethereum and going to use a node on the blockchain Ethereum, you will use a protocol, so an application that is working on that blockchain. This application, in this case, I'm showing you Lido Finance, that is the biggest one on the market at the moment. What it's doing is saying to you, okay, give me your coins and I will lock them for you. But in exchange, I will give you also a token. This token is called the liquid staking version of the previous one. So in the case of Ethereum, you will receive something that is called STETH, that is the equivalent of Ethereum, but it has two main peculiarities. First of all, it is increasing in value because inside of that token, you will receive also the rewards that are coming from this process, that is this APY here. To be fair, it is slightly different because as you can see here, it is just 5% instead of 5.7. The reason is simply because they are retaining a fee from that kind of percentage. But a main advantage to using a liquid staking protocol is that you will remain liquid, exactly as the word is saying. It means that the same token, the STETH, that's something that in any moment you can sell on the market, receiving in exchange Ethereum. So that's something that is pretty convenient because instead of have to send a request to the blockchain, can you unlock my tokens? That's something that maybe can require a lot of time according to which is the blockchain that you are working with. In a moment when you can use this kind of solutions, the kind of process to liquidate your position, that's something that is much more faster. Let's suppose that you are seeing the price of the token going down or you need the liquidity immediately, you can simply decide to sell on the market immediately. Obviously, the kind of price can fluctuate. It is not always representing the same kind of amount that it would be supposed if you were simply withdrawing from the blockchain. According to the market condition, it could be slightly less, slightly more. Obviously, as always, it is the market to do the price. The main advantage is that you can be liquid on the market in any moment. Plus, there is also another advantage that is called composability, because as we will discuss in one of the next videos, you can use the same token to do other stuff, and that's something we'll discuss soon. Going on, there are other two meanings of staking. First of all, it simply means deposit. So generally speaking, when you will talk to someone that is a crypto enthusiast or someone that is a DeFi guy or whatever, in that case, you will heard many times staking, and what they mean is simply deposit. So when we are talking about staking, even if it means participate to the proof of stake validation process and so on, the reality is that they are simply saying deposit. On the other side, the same word is also used to with the meaning of locking. So, for example, when you go into any other protocol, it could be this one. In this one, for example, they have also another token. The token of this protocol is called the Lido token, and this token, it is also the governance token. Do you remember when we were talking about the different use cases of the different cryptos? Well, one of them is participating to the governance. So having this token is giving you the ability to vote. As you can see up here, it is written governance, and it simply means that you can vote for the different proposal. For example, support a specific asset or change the kind of interest that is paid and so on. And when they are talking about use your token in order to participate to this process, they are saying staking. So you can stake, you can deposit your token, and in some case, it will also be required to be locked. Guys, I hope that this overview helped you to better understand what does it mean staking, what are the different opportunities. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section here, or use the Telegram group, and I will see you soon in the next video.